Hello, everybody, and welcome. Wow, this looks a little bit laggy. I hope this will not be for the whole training, but I've been, living forward to today, to this amazing moment. Let me see if I can do anything about the lag. This is starting bad. Um, no, there's nothing I can do about it. As long as the sound is clear enough, and we will do this training. I've prepared myself. I've been working my ass off the last days to get everything correct and done and straight. um, it's been over a year since I did my last big event, and I underestimated how much work actually is required to get all this done. But anyway, here we are. I'm ready. I'm glad to have you here. Let me know in the comments below where you're watching from. If you're watching on the replay, also let it down below. If you're watching live, let me know, and I will start with explaining everything. Now, today is 5 steps to grow your online business in 2023. This training, I'm going to showcase how simple and effective it can be to grow your online business, market your service slash product by using digital organic marketing. Any questions during this training, ask them in the chat below. I will try to not miss out on them, and I will take the time to reply. Now, of course, I only have like a maximum time of 2 hours because it's Wednesday. Wednesdays are my day off, and I have to get my son from school. So let's go for that. If you're watching the replay, this will not make any sense. So, my story. Okay. Who am I? So, in case you don't know me yet, my name is Geoffrey Lemaire. I'm your digital marketing, organic marketing tutor. So far, I invested in myself over $25,000 just in the last couple of years, just to increase my knowledge, increase my skills, and to learn more and more about the organic world, the online world. I'm working and studying close one-on-one with multiple 5, 6, and 7-figure earners already since December 2015. This means that I'm meeting with them once a week, once a month, talking with these people. I'm still learning from them, exchanging ideas, brainstorming with them. And by this, I can keep growing, keep learning, and being up to date with the current market, with how everything is going these days. I'm generating multiple streams of income every month. So yes, I'm still working, no longer full-time. I've built down my hours towards part-time job, and I'm also doing other stuff online that helps me generate income online. Now, I love to help you and others in the online world and guide them towards greater results and hitting goals much faster and easier. And I have discovered that actually by following this online road, that I like to teach stuff to people. I like to explain things to people. First of all, I like to learn it myself. But then when I learn it myself, I want to figure it out, like how can I make this work for me? How can I understand this completely? Because I'm a very difficult person to learn something that is very technical and stuff like that. If it has anything to do with computers and programs and software, then I'm always very quickly with that. But when I'm speaking about learning actually skills and how to implement them in my business, then I always used to struggle with that. So I always try to find the most easiest way for myself to explain it to myself. And I found out that when I found this easy way and I explain it to someone else the same way, they actually get it. So this is what my business is all about. Now, this is how my journey looks like at the moment. So in December 2015, it was the reason of my journey actually, because my son got born. In June, I started my online journey because when my son got born, my wife, she lost her job during the pregnancy. My son got born. We had the bills coming in. Um, I already heard like from my parents in the past that taking care of a child can cost you a house or will cost you a house eventually. But I really underestimated that. So in the beginning, I thought everything would be okay, but like the diapers and the clothes and everything, and the milk they had to have, and my son was lots of times sick when he was a very young baby, and all these bills started to count up and sum up. So life really started to become expensive for me. And so in June, a little bit before June, I met a friend of mine who was talking about making money online. I was like, what? Making money online? I mean, isn't that, just a lie? Isn't that just some bullshit? And he says, no, it's actually true. So this is how I started my online journey. Now, from 2016 till 2020, I was like really struggling, okay, with making money online. I made lots of money, then I lost lots of money, then I made lots of money again, and I lost them again. But I was be able to find a way to turn that into stable. I got it stabilized. But here's the thing I focused on that moment was actually passive income. And by doing all that time, by doing these things all that time, I found out in order to live from your passive income, you need like a very high budget. Okay, I mean it. Like if for example I want to have around 2,000 to 3,000 per month, which sounds reasonable to live from, I need around a budget of 130k, around 100k, 130k. Only then I can generate like 2 to 3k passive income from that. So once I had stabilized everything, and I realized that, um, I wanted to make an active income online. I already started with doing some active incomes with some freelancing and stuff like that, but I really was like, I want to I want to build up my passive income much faster. I want to grow it much faster. So in December, January, I started to looking up, building my online business. I wanted to build a business. I still didn't have the why and the reason. I still didn't have like I want to teach people, I want to help people or anything. I was just, really focused on myself and on my future. Like I've tasted the possibilities to generate money online, and of course I was thinking about my son too, because I don't want him to do messy jobs like I had to do. I went from one messy job to another messy job. I was really like, that was something we call here in Belgium a job hopper. I was really from one job to another job to another job. So I was like, when he grows up, life is now getting really expensive. Like if we check the last 2 years, it really went up a lot, and now we are at a peak or some sort of peak. And I was thinking like, houses get more expensive and anything, but I want to be able to help my son in the future. If I keep doing what I'm doing now, which is, just doing my job from with my boss, I will not be able to support him in the future. So with all of that, I wanted to build an online business so I can build some sort of legacy. This is like my first steps of thinking about, not just myself, but also like my family for the future. And I started with marketing, online marketing. I know that really interested me because especially it's about online, and you have to learn how to use different tools and different software, websites, products, and stuff like that. So that really interested me. But there was so much stuff to learn about. So instead of starting to hopping from job to job, I started to jumping from program to program just to see what's out there, just to learn more and more. Now, fast forward to today, I've spent over $25,000 in education, in online education, um, and it will not stop here. Okay, it will become more over time. It will become 30k. It will become 50k. It will become 100k that I spent online just into knowledge. Okay, this has nothing to do with tools. I haven't bought any tools. There is no price of tools inside that money. There is no price of like my monthly or yearly expenses that I make online that are inside this. This is just pure for programs, mentoring, coaching, etc. So I want to start with a fact and a question. Did you know that 99% of aspiring solopreneurs, who is, people who want to become a coach, a consultant, trainer, marketer, usually give up before the first year of their operation? Now, keep that in mind because we will come back to this number. So this means that only 1% succeeds. Only 1% doesn't give up. Okay, it doesn't mean they succeed, but they don't give up. And there is a reason behind that. There is a reason why they are not giving up. And this is because people are missing out on three things. So the people that don't give up, they actually have those three things. So the title of this live training is, obviously 5 steps to grow your online business in 2023. So I will talk about 5 steps. You might already seen it in a few posts or in some emails or in some messages I send it to you about. But this is what we will cover: the what, the who, the how, the why, and the where. Let me see. Yeah. So first we will start with the what. And the what, I mean, it makes sense, okay? The what is actually your product or your service. Now, this is what you give, what you will provide. This can be a physical product, but these days, the best thing that works these days are digital products. This can be your services, coaching or consultation sessions, software that you sell, for example, an online program, or a course, tools, knowledge, etc. The easy answer in that is, what do you love? If you don't have a product or a service, if you still have to start building your online business, you have to find out what do you love, and most specifically, what has helped you. What have you learned that has helped you? And you want to share it with others, so this can help other persons. Now, this is what your business does in general, okay? You want to help people solving a problem they are sick and tired of and getting paid for it while doing that, while you help them. So the main focus whenever you start an online business and whenever you are looking into making money online, and this is already the first mistake that lots of people are making, and I was making the same mistake, okay? Don't get me wrong. I was the same thing. All I was focusing on was making money online. And, there are only a few things that you can do that to make money online. That is purely focused on you, and that doesn't include any other person. And these are like, high risks. Those were the things that I started with, that I explained, like, from the day that from June 2016 till 2020, till the end of 2020. This is when I was, doing those high risks. I didn't have to, think about other people, because I was doing all the work. It was my money. I was, investing it. I was learning from it. I was doing the high risks. And I didn't have to think about helping other people with it. But the moment you talk about building an online business, now that's something different. And you can say like, okay, a product, a service, but I was also thinking, like, last night, I was like going over this training, and I was thinking like, it's not just a product and a service. You also need to have an offer. So you have to create an actually offer, because you can have all the knowledge in the world and you want to help all the people in the world. But if you don't have an offer, and what is an offer? Well, this is a training. This is not usually the usual training I'm doing every week. This is like, a full training explaining more and more stuff in depth, which will be temporarily online. Inside this group, it will be, if you're watching inside a Facebook group, it will only be online for a couple of days. Then I will take it offline. For the people who still want to catch the replay, I will put it online on YouTube on a private link. So only people who gets a link from me will be able to watch it. And this is not a normal training, okay? In the end, I will show you my offer. I have something to sell to you. But this is not like, just wait, because the moment somebody says like, I have something to sell to you, people will think, oh, wow, it's, It will be $500. It will be $1,000. But stick with me to the end, okay? So next step is actually the who. Now, who is your product for? Who is your service for? As we mentioned in the what, you want to help people with your service, knowledge, skills, programs, software tools, courses. And you remember the easy answer I gave to you. The easy answer is what do you love? What has helped you? What have you learned from it? And you want to share with others. But there is more. We want to show our audience that we know exactly how it feels to have this problem, what emotional feelings we had, what other problems we ran into because of this single problem. What did we hate it when we had that problem? Physically, mentally, emotionally. And of course, what are the benefits we are having now thanks to the solution we are using or having? Now, all these things are super important because this is only like, step two. And if you're not clear on step one, if you don't have an offer, for example, and you're going over to step two, the who, and you don't know that neither, then how can you, build and actually grow your online business? Because these are the steps you need to be clear on. These are the steps that people are going over way too, what's the right word? Way too fast. You have to go really deep in this because the deeper you go into this, and believe me, okay, it took me more than a year before I realized that. While I was actually learning it, while I was trying to implement it, I thought I had the clarity. I thought I know what to do, but all of a sudden it hit me. All of a sudden, because of working with different people, because of having regular chats and meetings and coaching sessions with different people, all of a sudden, it hit me. I was like, wow, okay, finally I get it. And this is important, okay? This is something that you have to create for yourself. You have to find out for yourself who you were in the past. And you can say, like, but my product has nothing to do with me in the past. Then I would say, like, you're not really being honest to you because how did you find out about the product? Why do you want to sell that product? Have you actually used the product? Because if you're selling something that you haven't used yourself, or you haven't experienced yourself, or you haven't witnessed yourself, then why do you sell it? Because then it's just purely for the money. And like I already said before, there is no, if it's just purely for the money, then you are in the wrong business, because building an online business is never just purely about the money. So when you started, who you were in the past, you had a problem. Okay, you had this problem and it got solved, because that's what you want to do now, because that's what your business is about. You had this problem, you found the solution, and you think, like, if I had this problem, I know the solution, it helped me, I can help other people with it. And now you can think, like, hey, but there are already so many people out there. I mean, do you know how many people there are in the entire world building an online business? There are lots of people for each one of us. Okay, now you have to, like, really filter down who you were and stuff like that. So you really have to find out for yourself, like, what kind of issues on a deeper level did you experience because of the problem? What did you hate that you could not do due to the problem you experienced? What do you loved when you had the problem, but due to this, you were not able to have it? And once you have, like, the answers to all three of those, and by using your product together with those three stuff, you have become the person you are right now. The person who wants to help someone else, the person who wants to teach stuff to other people. And like I said before, you want to help people. The moment you start helping people more and more, the moment you will actually get paid for it. Now, what I've just described here to you is something that you probably already heard, but this is called your ICA, or your ideal customer avatar. There are, lots of synonyms that are being used for this, and this can be your customer avatar, customer journey, ideal customer, avatar, audience, targeting, clients, etc., etc. Now the I was, okay, the ideal customer avatar because it was you. I was, you have to define it 5 levels deep. And a majority, again, doesn't know this, okay? So you're only 2 steps further and only told you 3 things that the majority of the people don't know. And that is one of the reasons that people are not seeing any results. They're not seeing any growth, okay? So this is why I'm going through these steps with you, explaining the steps so you can grow in your online business. And when there is growth in your online business, there will be, more clients, more testimonials, more students, more money. Everything will become more because you're growing. So, you know, age, race, sex, employment, education, income, marital status, all these information that, you learn if you want to find people, um, like, are they male, are they female, what is their age, what is their employment, their education, what money are they making or they want to make, marital status, all this, basic marketing that is being, taught everywhere. That's just level 1. There are 4 more levels. So you want to dig deep into yourself, and the more you know about yourself from that time, the better you will know who to serve. The next thing is the how. Now you have covered the what and the who, and now it's time for the how. How will people know what you do? How will they know what you help with, what your journey is, what struggles you have or had, how your life was in the past and how it is now, thanks to that, product, your wins, your losses, what you love, what you hate, you offer, all these things you have to share with people, because then only then you can like build some sort of connection relationship with people, and people will actually, being interested and more likely to buy from you, to get to accept the help from you. And this is all done with content. Now you may wonder why is this important? Okay, why is content important? Now these days it's all about standing out, being original, but more important, to build deep connections with your audience. Your audience has to see how you live, resonate with what you share, feel your feelings, new and old, etc. This is how we build know, like, and trust. And the shortcut for saying know, like, and trust is KLT. With this KLT, people will raise their hands and actually come to you for help. So the content part, okay, just, I also have to just talk about basic stuff just to make some stuff clear to you. Doing some repetition. So the content, we have pictures, video, conversation starters, and text. As you can see, pictures, we have square pictures, 3D pictures, 360 panorama, or a screenshot. And, with this content, then usually we want to add some written text to it. With the videos, we can do GIFs, for example, but then also we want to add some written text to it. But we have 15-second story styles. We have 30 to 96 reels or TikToks. We have 5-minute lives or slash uploads from videos that we are doing. And we have the social media live, something I'm doing right now. Then we have the conversation starters, okay, which is a question. You can ask a question anywhere. You can receive advice. You can ask for advice. You can do a status update. And then about the text, we have blog posts, emails, newsletters. Because what I'm covering here, like I already said, I'm a digital organic marketing tutor. So what I cover here is actually, digital organic marketing tactics, strategies. What is there out? Okay. So you have blog posts you can do. You have emails that you have to do, newsletters to keep your audience up to date about everything. Now, some ideas and examples, because having ideas about content, getting, is always hard until you know how to generate them. So some simple ideas and examples, or you can talk about behind the scenes. You can talk about the lead magnet, motivation quote. Lots of people are doing that. Entertaining memes, a mistake or an error you did, for example, a tease of what is coming, rant about something you love or hate in your niche, fast, big or small win or tip, your story, but then also like, question examples. And then you can fill in the dots. Are you a, and then for example, person that likes to read? And what do you read? Best advice for someone that sleep bad. Okay, asking advice. Would you rather be single and rich or married and poor, for example? These are all, just basic ideas that you can use to create um, content. But I can't even go deeper on that, because if you talk about content, then we have like, search machines, okay, Google, and you talk stuff in about the business. What is your business about? You just type stuff in, and you see like, thousands and thousands of results in the Google results that you can write about, that you can talk about, because you are the experienced one, okay? You're the expert in your field. And perhaps you don't have any, topics to talk about, because after a while it can be hard to find topics. Then, just Google something. Google something about your business and talk about it. And then you can say, yeah, but I talked about this one already in the past. Yeah. But, you talk about it in the past, but that's been like what, 2 3 months ago. People might have been forgotten already about it. So it doesn't matter if sometimes you repeat yourself, because only when you repeat yourself, um, you know it actually sticks inside the mind, because repetition is what makes the skill. Now, what do you need to create content? And that's not much, okay? You don't have to spend thousands of dollars or $100 to create content. You just need a smartphone or a laptop, paper and pen, for example, or Notepad. This is the simplest software tool on everyone's laptop, Notepad, or something to type on. A Google document, for example. Decent light when you do videos. A webcam if you're on the computer. Usually, if you're on the laptop, you already have a webcam. Then a bunch of free websites and tools, free tools to edit text and pictures for content, um, etc. And like I said, this is all for free. This costs you nothing. Because if you're building an online business, I mean, all these things, you have them already. Okay. So, what to post about? I already said so. Different steps about your journey, your life, current and previous lifestyle. Share your knowledge, tips, and tricks, results plus action steps. Create a content list and use the info you noted on your ICA, ideal customer avatar, and combine them in the story. As you see, you don't need anything fancy, okay? Just a lovely head of yours, your minds, your ideas, your thoughts, and that's it. Let me check one thing. My apologies. Now, I want to confirm first that I'm live, but I think I am. Now, the next thing is the why, okay? And the why is actually attraction marketing and lead generation. So why does this work? With putting out content, why will people pay for my help? And like I said, people have a problem, okay? And you have the solution. You know what the solution is in. You know what the problem was, because you had it in the past. And now you know what the solution is, because it's fixed the problem for you. So we want to work with attraction marketing and lead generation, and we want to combine these things, okay? Because lots of time when you're talking about lead generation, um, then people are leaving out the attraction marketing, and we want to combine it. So combining those two will put people into the hot place. They will become buyers over time. They will become quality leads. They will become even committed customers, and most of all, doers. Because if you just start with lead generation, then you will deal with lots of tire kickers. Okay. But we want to combine attraction marketing, because with the attraction marketing, we actually say that, you know, we show them what the work is about. And like, if you do, for example, like a health coach, if you do this 15 minutes every day, um, then this is the result you get. And if you want some extra info, or if you want some extra training about it, let me know or reach out to me or something like that. So you're using attraction marketing because the people know that they have to do something. Okay. While tire kickers are people who just, want information and they don't do anything with it. So the moment they see like they have to do something, then usually they're already, out of it. If you just say, who want this free this or who want this free that, then yes, of course, because you say it's free and people, oh, it's free. Okay, let's have a look. But it's not because it's free and you give them the information that will actually do something with it. So as already mentioned in the how, the content part, when you combine attraction marketing with lead generation, people will resonate with you and they will be sick and tired of their pain. Because through the content you make, you actually remind them about the pain. Each time they see your picture and a post from you, each time they see you're coming by and, you're talking about a subject that, interests them, you also mention the pain they have. So you keep reminding them about the pain. And at some point, they will be sick and tired of it. And they want to get it solved. And this is where you step in, because this is where you help them. Now, the big tip and secret that is getting used now these days is storytelling. And what is storytelling? Story is actually, oh, I'm sorry, I misclicked. Storytelling is actually turning your content into a story. So why? Why should I have to put stuff into story? Why can't I just write text? Because writing text is just, boring. Why do people read books? Okay, most of the time because there is a storyline in it. Why do people watch movies? Because there is a storyline in it. Why do people watch TV shows? Because there is some sort of storyline in it. So you want to help people with the problem, so you have to put a story into it. Okay, so it speaks about a road, a journey, and each story, um, well, most of the time, okay, if we watch television and stuff like that, we already know that not all there's always a happy ending, but usually, if we talk about a story, um, it has a happy ending, and it does has a happy ending because you had this problem because of this, and this. You solved the problem, so happy ending. You got rid of the problem. Now, because your offer, your product, your service has taken care for you to get this happy ending. So with storytelling, your audience will be glued to your lips or to your content or slash posts. The next step is the where. Now, the where is social media. For example, your website, your blog, email. Like I already said, I'm a digital organic marketing tutor. So as told before, this is all through organic marketing methods. So we are not using any paid advertisements, okay? Then you can say like, yeah, but aren't these tools expensive and stuff like that? Well, no, 1 second, we get there. You can use your social media profiles, okay? So you don't need to create pages or anything. Just use your social media profiles that you have on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, YouTube, etc. You can create a website, landing page, shop, a blog, and use SEO to rank search pages. You can capture email addresses and have campaigns set to send them emails. And this is all for free, okay? You can say like, wow, doesn't that cost like lots of money? Well, actually, no. Some email providers give you free usage for 500 or more email addresses. If you really are clear on the steps I already discussed so far, okay, and you are clear on your offer, and you're clear on who you want to help with, who your audience is, then once you get to that 500 email addresses, you will already make money. So when you get over the 500 email addresses, the moment you have to start pay for using, you know, to keep using the email provider, then you're already making money from it. So it will, you will never pay more than what you earn. And that's a good thing about organic marketing. Like when you do ads, for example, you have to spend, because each time people click on it or each time people have seen it, you pay for it. So in the end, you can have like paid over, $500 for example, in a week, and made $0 in return. So that's why we will, talk about organic marketing, because organic marketing is actually not throwing away money. Organic marketing is all about knowledge, about experience, about learning, and about growing as a person, and at the same time growing as your business with your online business. So you can create free websites. There are, places where you can create a free website. You can create for free landing pages where you can capture email addresses. There are free shop pages where you can create your own shops and stuff like that, and blog pages, etc., etc. Of course, my recommendation though is to get a cheap hosting with WordPress, for example, and domain name. First of all, the price is extreme low. It's only like, I don't know, maximum $50 for a whole year. And I mean maximum, okay? I think it's even less. And it looks much more professional. Okay, it's much cooler if you can say like go to geoffreylemaire.com, and if it's like, freewebsite.r/free/Geoffrey Lemaire, it looks much more professional. So of course we know that when in our business we want to, have some professionality, okay? But it's not necessary. If you really can't say no, I can't afford that at all, then you can't find these stuff online. Okay, you can just Google it, create a free website, create a free landing page, free email providers. I mean, you could just Google it, you type it in, and you find it. So, and then of course, social media. I mean, we all use it. This is where like most of the people are hanging out in today. People are watching, videos from reels on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. People are scrolling through the posts on their feeds from LinkedIn, from Facebook, etc., etc. So choose social media. We all use it, and you can help others with your offer and get paid for it. Now, like I already said, okay, social media, website, blog, email. This is where we will put all the content. This is also where we will find and connect with your ideal customer avatar. And these will see and hear your content, and they will resonate with it, okay? Now, to make clear, people will find and you will find, and people will find and connect with you, and vice versa with social media, website, and blog. And then at one point, you can capture their email address, and then you can keep nurturing them through email. So people will see you, they will hear your content, they will resonate with it, they will feel attracted to it, and they will think, hey, this person is like, it's like this person is inside me. It's like this person is in my head. This person is describing exactly what I'm going through. And at some point they will say like, I have enough with what I'm going through. I want to get this fixed. This person has got it fixed. So this person is all of a sudden making a post like, having this or this information I want to share with you. Oh, yes. Okay. I want to solve this problem. I want this information. I'm putting my hand up. I'm saying hashtag me, or yes, I want to. So we actually raise their hands up in the air. We call these people hand raisers. Simple as that. People who want more of what you do. They want your information. This is like the first step. They're already saying like, I want your help. I need help. You have information. I have this problem. I want to solve this problem. Thank you for the information. So they want your help. They need your solution. So everything I've so far covered is the what, the who, the how, the why, and the where. And these 5 steps are important because we need minimum 5 contact points before your ideal customer avatar, okay, will buy from you or will even contact you. And how does that look like? Okay. So the first thing they do is whenever um, you know, they talk to you, whenever that you send a friend request or a connection request, or doesn't matter if you start following someone or someone starts following you, what you will do, you will check out, oh, this person starts following me or this person sends me a friend request. Let's check out their profile. Okay. So you go to their profile, you see, oh, they have a website. You click on the website, you go to the website, you see what they're all about. So you want to see from their profile what it is that they'll do from on your website, on your page. So you have to be really clear on that. Like when people visit your website, when people visit your profile, that you can instantly see like who you are, what do you do, what are you helping with, etc. And if they're interested in that, okay, then people will scroll to your post and to your content. And then usually they will accept a friend request or start following you back or accept a connection or anything. And this is like, the first contact point. The second contact point is that people will start noticing your content and they will interact with it. Perhaps it's just a thumbs up or a heart, they smash the heart button. Um, Perhaps they start to respond on the content as well. So that's like the second contact point. Then the third contact point is they're raising their hands. Okay. When they start raising their hand, it means they're really interested. They really want more info. They really have this problem and they want to get it solved. And that is when you reach out for info. You reach out for help. Then the fourth one, for example, depends on, perhaps you had like, free document or some document you had to share with them. So you shared the document to help. But then you want to start talking with them and find out their problems. Because, okay, yeah, perhaps you have this free document or you have this information you can share with that person. But is it actually the right information? Because this person might think it's the right information. But only when you find out their problems, then you can say like, oh no, I mean, this will not solve the problem that you have. This has something for a whole different problem. So you want to discover their problems. But you can only do that once they have, like reached out for help or reached out for info. Once they raise their hands on something. And then, the fifth contact point is when you close the deal. Then you can like give your offer. Okay. Only when you're sure what their problems are, what the real problems are, what the real pain points are, and you are 100% sure that you can solve it. But also you want to be 100% sure that this person wants to have his or her problem solved, because you don't want to deal with people, um, who buy something from you, for example, and then afterwards they start complaining they're not seeing any results because they're actually not doing the work, or they just bought from you and then you never hear from them again, and they're not doing the stuff, they're also not complaining, but that's not how you want to run your business. You actually want to help people. So then you close the deal. So this is like the 5 contact points. Now you know what the 5 steps are. Okay, the what, the who, the how, the why, and the where. And this is to grow your online business this year. And you have to be really clear on that, okay, if you want to grow your online business this year. But as I already mentioned in the beginning, there are 3 things that are important. And the 3 things why 99%, I mean, even if you're fully clear on those 5 steps, then there is still a big chance you will give up. Okay. And 99% of aspiring solopreneurs give up before the first year of their operation. And then from that 1% that is left, I can say at least half of them, you know, are failing in generating results or failing in growing their business. And yes, perhaps they are fully clear on that 5 steps, but I'm really doubting it. Okay. Because if you're fully clear on those 5 steps, then all you will see is growth in your business. So how do you become that 1% or that 0.50% that succeeds? What's the difference of the 1% and 99%? It's the three main keys. So the three main keys to be part of the 1%, to generate true results, to grow in your online business, are these three main keys. Main key one is support and accountability. Main key two is up-to-date information. And main key three is tools, tips, and tricks. Now let me go deeper into that. Let me explain it more to you. So first of all, we have support and accountability. Okay. So support means that you have someone to rely on. Every time you're stuck, every time you have a question, this person is there for you. Because without support, or when support runs out, you can start to struggle, hit roadblocks, and all of a sudden, fail and give up because you're not getting anywhere. And this is where like 99% of the programs these days are lacking of. Okay. I hear from lots of people, oh yes, I have a mentor. Yes, I have the support. Okay, good. But then if you really, go deeper with them about it, then you hear they're actually not getting the support they want or they need. Because first of all, for example, it's time limited. They bought this program, they bought this course, they have a mentor, but hey, it's only for 3 months. Hey, it's only for 6 months. Now, if you want to grow your online business, if you have a mentor that helps you in growing your online business, the support should be unlimited. Okay. It doesn't matter if you paid $1,000 or $5,000 or $10,000 or just $100. If you buy support, then it shouldn't be time limited, because whenever you grow, there will always be something, okay, in your business, always. But then we also have the accountability. The accountability means that someone keeps you responsible for your action. You have to, hold yourself accountable, but someone else has to hold you accountable too. And you have to get that from the same person that supports you, the same mentor or coach or consultant or trainer or expert that is helping you with growing your business. So whenever you feel down, whenever you feel like not doing something, you will be reminded why you're doing this by that person to keep you motivated and going. And support plus accountability actually so means that someone stands behind you, got your back in good and bad moments, guides you, has a hand on your shoulder. And this is like, like like for example, I have my wife. Okay. I'm married, I have my wife. My wife has my back. Okay. She stands behind me. She got my back in my good and bad moments. She supports me in everything. But if I talk to her about my business or anything, then she's like on a different level, because she's not. I know more about the online world and digital and on organic marketing, and she knows a little bit about it, so I can talk to her. But like when I speak to my mentor, okay, when I speak to my person that supports me and that gives me, keeps me accountable for my actions, he's wiser than me in the, he knows much more than in the organic marketing than me. And you know each time we're chatting with each other, there's always something we chat about. Okay. And it can be just about daily life, like, hey, what's going on? Oh yeah, man, it's not my day or it's not my week, this is going on. um, and I'm tired, and I don't feel like doing it anymore. And then he can say, like, everyone is tired sometimes, so don't give yourself too much hard time about this. But you just have to remind yourself that why are you doing it? You told me in the past this is for your son, for his future, for your family. Also, you want to have the time freedom, and to live life on your own terms. And just because of talking about that, I'm actually getting motivated again. I get reminded again of why I'm doing this. So the keywords here for support plus accountability is brainstorming. It's also a friend, okay, because this person actually becomes your friend. Ideas, tips, and tricks, and you can actually learn from each other, because I learned lots of stuff from my mentor, for example, but it has already happened that he learned something from me. And we have to admit that to ourselves, that there's always room for growth and to learn. The next one that's also important. 1 second, I see. Okay, all good again. My apologies. I had like a lower internet connection all of a sudden. So the next thing I want to talk about is up-to-date information. If we think about the world, for example, and we think about today, then we think about today. But you can also think about the age of the dinosaurs. And what's the difference? How did we came from dinosaurs to, the life we're living now, driving cars and stuff like that? The difference is change and growth. Okay. Facebook alone has changed over 10 times in the last years. The look of the profile, for example, intro to stories, reels, professional mode that we have right now, even getting paid is becoming more and more effective in Facebook as well. And like when we look at TikTok, if you look 2 years ago, I mean, perhaps in some countries it started to gain some popularity, but I never heard of it 2 years ago. So people change, okay? The world change, the world grows, people grow, we evolve, and because people change, so does our methods and our tactics. Our tactics have to change, okay? Just look at Coca-Cola, Nike, etc. Their advertisements, you see them more and more in the online world advertising now, because they are aware that it's all happening in the online world. So we are coming into a world of new tools, new automatizations, and yes, also artificial intelligence. So we have to stay up to date so we can implement and grow our business. And why am I saying this? Why am I sharing this stuff about up to date information? Because 75 to 80% of the courses, the programs that are out there about marketing is outdated. Okay. I've witnessed that myself when I entered a program, and I had like this upsell, which was about Facebook, some Facebook marketing. So I bought it because, like I said, I want to learn. I wanted to expand my knowledge. I was very interested. So like each video was outdated because they were sharing their screen, they were showing Facebook, but it had, a whole different look. So the stuff they are talking about, like, if you go here, you can do this and this and this, it didn't make any sense because I couldn't find the same stuff. Some stuff were the same, other stuff were totally different. And it's not just about that, okay? It's also about the marketing methods itself. Because in the past, like 5 years ago, people, people that sold programs, they were all, selling the big dream, being rich and driving, fancy cars and everything. And, people got attracted by that because it was something new. So lots of people, who sold these programs and stuff like that made lots of money because of promising, the big, shiny, bling, bling things. But if you do it today, it doesn't work anymore. And that's because we grow as a person, we evolve, we already know that it's bullshit. So marketing has to change. And that's why I said we have to use, like with the content, for example, attraction marketing and lead generation, and combine it together with storytelling. So that's like, stuff that's working today. And of course, being more visible, okay? And then, like I said, artificial intelligence is getting more and more popular now. And it also makes, more easy to work in your business. It can save you lots of time, because usually you're thinking too much and you're really struggling. And then if you can contact some artificial intelligence, okay, let me just say AI, because otherwise I will fall over my words. So if we can just contact the AI, we type some random stuff that we are playing with in our mind, the AI actually starts to generate stuff for us. And then we can read through them, and then we can say, oh yes, that's good. We pick a piece of this and we pick a piece of that. And so you actually, it speeds up the process. So we have to embrace it. It's here, it's out there, it's growing, it's evolving. Hey man, great to have you here. Let me know where you're watching from. And as I already said in the beginning, if you have any questions, just drop them in the comments, and I will try to answer them, reply to them. So the key word with up-to-date information is change and growth. Then number 3 is actually the tools, the tips, and the tricks. Tools are needed in your business to make it easier for you, because you will save lots of time and money by using tools. Now, there are different categories of tools. There are tools that either never or always gets updated to the current market. And there are tools that sounds good, but you actually don't need. Expensive tools, cheap tools, and free tools. Like each week passes and there is like a new tool, or each month there is a new tool out there. So it takes lots of time to research and test these tools and to find out how they can help in your business. Like if we go back to the programs, the existing programs, like once again, 75 to 80% of these programs, they might recommend you some tools. But do you know why they recommend these tools? Because it will be, first of all, like, a trial one. They say, oh, it's for free. Yes, it's for free for 7 days or for 14 days, because then it's a trial period. And then you have to start paying for it. And they actually make money from that, okay? Because you're using it, you pay for it, they make money from that. They're getting paid in commissions. So yes, they will, recommend tools to you, but these tools are already 1 year old, 2 years old, and they will not share every single tool that they use in their business with you. They will always hold back stuff to you. So it's important to be somewhere, like I said, to have a mentor, and that is telling, like, this is all the tools that I'm using, all of them, okay? And when you're, growing your business, building your online business and growing it, you want to save money as much as possible, because you still have to be able to pay the bills every month. So then it's only normal that you want to know about the best free tools. And if there are none, if for some parts the tools ain't free, then the best cheapest tools that you can use in your online business. So, and let's not forget the tips and tricks that can help you get things done easier and faster. Plus, like I already mentioned, the AI that comes up these days, like for content IDs, but also to generate emails and everything, to give you ideas, inspiration about stuff in your business. It will help you grow. So the key phrase here is like save lots of time and money with tools, tips, and tricks. Now, I've just told you the 3 main keys to be part of the 1%. The 3 main keys that are needed to successfully learn and implement the 5 steps to grow your online business. So what lacks most of the time? Okay, if we look at tool tips and tricks, then usually there is no list. Most of the programs, the people don't even, give you a list. And if they give you about, a program, then you have to pay for it every month, and they will gain, commissions from it. And there is no tutorial. There is no like step by step of each tool you need in your business. So perhaps they give you some, tool. You can use this tool and voila, that's it. How do you use this tool? No clue. You have to find it out for yourself. And is it really up to date? Do you really need it in your business? Because perhaps they are, recommending a tool that costs $100 per month, while there is existing one that is for free. It has less options, but for what you need it in your business, it's perfect. Okay, so then you can save like $100 per month with it, because you can use this free tool. It does the exact same thing. So why do you have to pay $100 for it? Second thing is support and accountability that I explained, which has like 99% of the time there is no support. Yes, they will say like, oh yes, you get 3 months coaching, or you get 3 months mentoring, or you get 3 months support. But it's so time limited. And what happens, like in my case, okay, what I'm experiencing, what I'm having is that if you put me on the time pressure, it will not, I will fail even more. Everything I learn from something, I need time to process it, because people online, they can explain it sometimes so hard. And you can talk with someone and you can say like, yeah, it makes sense. But when you finished with talking, you really like, you didn't actually got it. You just listened, you okay, but you didn't comprehend it. You're not able to implement it into your business, because the moment you think like, okay, we talk about this, I've learned about this, let me do that into the business, and then you're like, okay, but how do I start? Where do I start? What do I have to think of? And this is what you have to get with support and accountability, that you get the clarity to actually implement stuff into your business. And then, of course, we have the up-to-date information. Like I already said, most programs and courses about marketing, for example, about the things that I've explained to you, they're at least 1 year and a half old, which means like the market has changed so much, because these days everything is about, short form video, because even Facebook has started with reels and everything. Instagram reels, Facebook reels, TikTok. It's more and more about short form video. But if you go to these programs, they aren't talking about short form video. So you actually, you're buying something and it's outdated. You can't even use it anymore in your business. Yes, some steps you will be able to use it, but it will not add towards growing, to the growth to your online business. So, and here is the moment that you actually can choose, because everything I shared with you here so far, everything in this last 1 hour and 8 minutes that we are running so far, everything I've shared here can help you right now with your business. So you can just implement it, okay? I've talked about the what, the who, the how, the why, and the where. I've tried to explain it, as good as possible. I could, I can talk about each topic for an hour, but I don't have the time myself, and I'm sure that you don't have the time to watch me talking about an hour about each topic. But I also explained, the three main keys that you need, which is support and accountability, up-to-date information, tools, tips, and tricks to help you, you know, see faster results, to grow faster in your business. And the best of all is that you don't have to do this alone. You don't have to be alone, because these people also decided not to do it alone. These are some people I've worked with, I've spoken with, we chatted with, I've helped with, students from me, clients from me. This is just a few. Okay. I didn't have, there's lots of more that I can share. And this is where I introduce my strategy, which is just, one strategy, which explains lots of methods inside. but the strategy is actually my dream strategy. And my dream strategy stands for digital, reliable, effective, authentic, and market. And the digital, well, I mean, it's simple, okay? We are in the online world. So we need a laptop, smartphone, and internet connection. Why is my strategy reliable? Because it has result generating strategies, methods, and skills. It's also effective because generating high quality leads, hand raisers, is a fact. Sales will happen, okay, and your business will grow massively in 2023. Authentic, you're a unique person, and so will your business be. So you have to stand out from the crowd and be your true self. You don't want to be a copycat, because this is what will attract people to you, because you're unique. You're this kind of person. People like this kind of person. People want to work with you. Perhaps there is someone else who is, offering the same, and perhaps he or she is even cheaper, but they want to work with you because they like you, they know you, they trust you. And then, of course, the M, markets. You want to help the people. Okay, it's important. Sometimes it's hard to find out, like, okay, this has helped me, my life, my family, and I want to help other people. So how to do it? And this is some sort of a marketing kind. Okay, so help the people the same way your product, service, offer has helped you. Ooh, yeah, okay, I clicked too far. My apologies. So what to expect? I'm talking about, this is my offer. Okay. So as I said in the beginning, you need to have a product or something that you can help people with. And most importantly, an offer. So this is my offer. This is what I'm, giving to my students, to my clients, to my people. So first of all, inbound leads and branding training for organic marketing businesses. And this is like instant access to the updated course that again gets updated whenever something changes. And it covers digital organic marketing such as social media marketing, SEO marketing, create websites, landing pages, email marketing campaigns, video marketing content, content creation mastery, automated sales process, etc. Okay. Second thing you can expect is an onboarding call. And this is to make sure you're full clear on what your business is about, and more importantly, who to target and where to find these people. Because clarity is always important. You have to, remain clear on every single step in the road in your journey. And each time you grow, each time when you learn something new, there will be a struggle. And you have to, be able to surpass that struggle with gaining clarity. There is access to a private community. There are live trainings happening inside that private community. There are bonus documents being shared, and you can network with other people. We will celebrate your results. We celebrate other people's results, etc. There is a group coaching once a month. We meet and go over questions, and we do group training. Then I share like the latest news, like, okay, what have I discovered? What is new in the online world? What do you need to know? What's up with the online world? Okay. Then we have the direct support messaging. You get on-demand support to help you overcome obstacles, which is group messenger support. Then we have one-on-one coaching, and here I wrote down minimum 4 times, because we will meet once a month online. And this is for the accountability that I said, okay? The accountability and support to make sure you stay on the right track, to make sure you remain clear on everything, and to make sure that you don't give up, you keep going and you keep growing. Remaining clear is a must. Now, what is inside, the program? So inside the program, there is instant 24/7 access to a video guided training program that helps you building a strong personal brand and business. So first of all, like I already mentioned, it is an up-to-date course. This course remains up-to-date. So whenever something changes, it will get updated. And you get, I will mention you that it's got updated, so you can go ahead and find it out immediately. We also cover, social media marketing, because you will learn the best converting formula to grow your business on social media. There's also the millionaire infrastructure. You will learn how to create and maintain a solid infrastructure that will qualify your leads and get the buyers to you. For example, with SEO and website, through lead magnets. We have the automation process, okay, which means that you will have a business that works for you, that will create know, like, and trust and sales. The main reason you start your online business is because one day you're planning to have financial freedom, to manage your own time as you wish, and live your life on your own terms. And in order to achieve that lifestyle, you need to have your business work for you instead of you working in your business like in a job. Because that's not the reason why you started, this whole online business. Not so you should spend like 10, 12 hours a day again, but then working from home instead of working for a boss. No, you want to live life on your own terms. So what you will learn inside iBomb is how to create an infrastructure in your business that lines up leads to your doors and generate you sales opportunities, so that you can help people. Okay, most of all, help people, and then make money and have a business that works for you at the same time, without you being constantly online all the time. You will learn how to leverage your time and scale your business without working longer hours and without needing to hire any virtual assistants. Now, the second thing you get is the onboarding call. So what we're going to do in this call, the call first of all will be recorded, so you can always watch it later again if needed, because so much stuff will be discussed in this call, and it's only normal that you don't remember everything. So then you can say like, oh, let me watch it again. Okay, what did we discuss about? Oh, right, I forgot that. So we will gonna talk about your product, your service, your offer. You have to make sure that you have an offer. The who, what, when, where, etc. is important. So everything will be made for you, a personal map for your business. And without having full clarity on each step, okay, the business will never take off. So of course we will make sure that you have the full clarity that you need. Next up is access to the private community. Okay, it's a private Facebook group. It's not like this group where if you're watching this now, but it's even more private. Okay, only for the students, only for the clients, only for the real action takers. There are live trainings, documents, tips and tricks, links, and stuff like that. We follow, share, and celebrate your journey, growth, wins, and results, but also networking. Okay, you connect and chat with other experts in their fields. You make collaborations, you exchange knowledge and experience. Never stop learning is important when you are an online entrepreneur, because the moment you stop learning is the moment you don't grow. So connections, collaborations, partner up with people. That's important, because then you always can give bonuses or anything away. That's not your own, but from someone else perhaps. Or you have like this specific, your health coach, for example, and you partner up with a fitness coach. The fitness coach can do his stuff, his teachings, and then recommend for um, what's the word, food, from food menus and food structures and stuff like that. They can recommend it to you, and vice versa. Like, okay, I'm a health coach, these are the food structures and the stuff you should do to remain healthy. But at the same time, I'm partnering up with this fitness instructor, and we can follow these trainings from him along. And this is when you grow, you make collaborations, exchange knowledge, experience, and that's important. Of course, direct support messaging. Okay. And then you can say like, a group chat, really? Why group chat? I will explain to you why group chat. Okay, there is a group chat on Facebook Messenger where you can ask any questions. Now, the benefit of a group chat is that when I'm busy, for example, or sleeping at that moment, others in the group will know an answer, high probably. Or they can help brainstorming with you. They can, give advices or give any suggestions, like, okay, like this is what I would do, for example. Like, you have this deal, you have this problem, and you say in the group chat, okay, I'm dealing with this problem, I'm having this issue. Others can say like, hey, perhaps someone had that same issue, and he can say, or she can say like, hey, I had this problem in the past, this is what I did to solve it. So we grow together. Okay, it's important, growing and together, because then you get the help you need and you want. And success loves speed, so the faster you get replies on your question, the faster you can implement and generate results. Because if you have to wait till the next group coaching, you can forget the problem. Or if you have to wait till we have, the next one-on-one coaching, you can forget the problem. Or, you have to wait a whole month, and you're not growing that month because you're struggling. And that's something that is, not done. We don't want that. Then of course you have the one-on-one coaching, which is minimum 4 times. Okay, why do I say minimum 4 times? Because it depends purely from your own decisions. If you want more one-on-one coaching after the 4 times, after each meeting we schedule a new call and we just continue with it. No problem for me. Even the most successful online business owner has someone behind their back that has contributed to the success they have now. And this is exactly what I stand for: making sure you're doing the things you need to do in your business. This is called accountability. Standing behind you, having your back. So we will schedule calls once a month. And this is important to make you accountable for what you have to do for your business, but also in order to keep you growing and to make sure you stay on the right track, remain clear on the steps, and implement correctly what you have learned. So my recommendation is, after each call, after each meeting we schedule a new call for the month after. Because if we don't do that, it will, remain forgotten. And I don't have the time to go to each person and say like, hey, do you want another chat? Do you want another call? I don't have the time for that. So that's why the best thing we do is, like, after each call, we schedule a new call. Does something happens, does something interferes and you cannot make it? I mean, we're all human. Okay, it's always possible. But then the moment we, like, cancel that meeting, the moment we do that, we schedule again a new call the day after, or an hour later, or a week later, something like that, just to stay on track. Now, this is the value. Okay, as I already mentioned, I've invested, $25,000 into my knowledge so far, and that's the value of my program. And it's an ongoing value, okay, because I will keep investing in myself, I will keep learning, I will keep growing, I will keep adding all the information to my program. And the second thing we have is an onboarding call, which is a value of $150. Access to a private community, again, value $150, because there you get access, you can connect with other people, also action takers, people who are expert in their fields, people who want to grow, people who you want to connect with. And you have the monthly group coaching, which is a value of $500. Direct support messaging, the groups chat, value of $150. And then, of course, the one-on-one coaching, minimum 4 times, that I just put on a value of $600, which should be higher if keep using the one-on-one coaching. So the total value for so far is $26,550. Now, just to remind you, just to repeat you, why is this so different than working with others? Okay, and I want to make this very clear why it is different. Because as I've mentioned, you get the 3 main keys plus the 5 steps. And I keep learning and growing. Lots of people, they release a program, they put the information in the program, they will do some, group coaching. And then if you want one-on-one coaching, you will pay again. They will upsell you. You will have to pay thousands of dollars. And then, they are still not sharing everything. And here you get actually everything. Okay, you get all the information, all the tools, everything I learned, everything new I learned, every update that happens in the online world, everything about Facebook that changes, the outlook, the views that changes, everything I add to the program. and I share my expertise with the community. So all the hard work is done, okay? It's not a done for you business, but it's a done for you training. Because the training, is done for you. I've did all the trouble. I've made the videos for you. I've bought all the programs, all the new programs. I'm investing in my knowledge and skills and tips and tricks so I can keep you guys up to date with everything. I know you will not pay 26,550 or more whenever I learn more stuff to get access to all of this. No, the price is only $49 per month. That's it, okay? Only $49 per month. So everything I have shared with you is included in the price of $49 per month. You get 24/7 instant access to the up-to-date inbound leads and branding training for organic marketing business, iBomb, that covers social media marketing, millionaire infrastructure, and automation process. You get the ongoing clarity, okay, during your journey. You will bump into new roadblocks, as already mentioned, and you have the coaching calls, the group coaching, the one-on-one once a month. Then you have the accountability, okay? I gently push in the back to do the things you have to do. Then you have 24/7 lifetime access to the support chat to get help very fast on your questions, because success loves speeds. The faster you get helped on your questions, the faster you can grow in your business. And then you have lifetime access to the VIP Facebook group where you can network with other people, grow and learn and celebrate your journey. Now, this deal, okay, this offer is already great. But it's even more great if I add bonuses. And this is only for 10 people, what I'm about to offer next, okay? So everything I've discussed before is $49 per month. And for 10 people that sign up, will get this next. First of all, you will get an audiobook from Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, which has a $10 value. Then you will have the audiobook from Robert Kiyosaki, from Rich Dad Poor Dad, which is a $10 value. But then, this is what is big, okay? I'm providing one-on-one support ongoing to secure your growth and results with personal guidance. And this is not just once a month, okay? This is every week. Or if you find it too much, if it doesn't suit you, once every 2 weeks, but I would suggest once a week, okay? Because you have a week the time to implement the stuff into your business, and each week we can evaluate how you're doing into your business. So for 10 people, only for 10 people, I'm doing this. Only 10 people get access to this bonus, which include the one-on-one support for only $49 per month. And after these 10 spots are gone, okay, the same offer with the ongoing one-on-one support per month, it will cost $99 per month. And it will increase even more in the future. So offering one-on-one takes lots of time, okay? And why I'm building my online business is, yes, to help other people. But of course, I have a family, which I already showed to you in the beginning, and I love spending time with them. So when I spend time on offering one-on-one, it means that I have less time to spend on my family. So that's why only, 10 spots for the $49 per month. And then, the price increase after these 10 spots, of course. But I have more, okay? That's not all of it. I'm releasing, and this is just for this event, okay? Just for this event, it's available. A discount for 2 people if you're paying for a full year in advance. So normally, if you have to pay $49 per month times 12 months, it's $588. I'm giving 2 months for free. So you actually pay for 10 months and you will get 12 months, access. And so you only will pay $490. But, with this special, special discount, I want to add, even more bonuses. So you get all the previous bonuses, okay? You get the ongoing one-on-one support and everything. But you also get a physical book from Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, okay, delivered at your doorstep. You get a physical book from Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad Poor Dad, delivered at your doorstep. You get a software tool from me, okay, a software tool that costs normally, the pro version, the full version of the tool, not some demo tool, and it costs normally $497, okay, which is more than the price you will pay, because I said you will only pay $490. And that tool, it's a custom relations management software tool. The name is EL Messenger Pro, and this tool allows you to tag and color code your messenger contacts, and this way you can easily follow up with them and filter on your different types of audiences, okay, clients, interested, leads. You can tag them along, so like if it has been 2 or 3 months you've spoken with that people to, you can see in the tags like, okay, it's been a long time, I forgot it, who is this person, what is this all about. Then what you get more is, behind the scenes and free access to my different streams of income. Okay. That's also something that nobody else gets, but I'm showing you what are my different streams of income. How do I, generate more money in the online world? And then, once again, another special bonus is 1 year paid for you, the paid tools I use in my online business. So every single tool I use in my online business, every single paid website, paid software, or everything that I pay, I will pay it for you, okay, for 1 year, which gives you like massive advantages. Because, like when I said before with the websites and stuff like that, that I would recommend to get like, a cheap hosting with a web domain, it means that, I pay this for you. So you have like no expenses or anything for a full year. And if you already have like a website, okay, if you already have a website and if you already have a domain name and everything, then I'll just, I will pay the next bill. So remember, okay, you don't have to do this alone, because some people actually benefited a lot. And, they said to me, I wish I met you sooner because I already spent so much money, okay, and nobody wants to help me, or I'd never had the clarity I needed or anything. So people were actually happy they met me. People are actually happy they jumped in with me, that they now have the training with me. So let me repeat everything, okay? And let me put up, I forgot it. I forgot it. Um, 1 second. Yeah, that was what I wanted to do. My apologies. So you can go to this website, okay? And this is where you can buy it from. This is where you can make your order, where you can put your order. This entire offer is only for 10 people, okay? So don't miss out. Only 2 people from the 10 people, can pay a full year in advance and get all the bonuses I mentioned. 10 people can sign up for $49 a month, my apologies, and, get one-on-one support to help you. And this is the end of the training. This is it. I'm glad I was able to do it in, around 1 hour and a half, because I was already fearing that it would be around the 2 hours. So far, I didn't have any questions during this live training. If you have some questions now, then you're free to put them down, to ask them. I will reply them. If you, whenever you're watching this in the replay, okay, then, just put your questions and I will come back to you. I will explain them to you. I will answer them for you, okay? And yeah, I will wait a few more minutes before I go off. Let me go back and show to you. I will go once again over the special bonuses in case you forgot it. So for $49 a month, you get access to the program, the full program training, where you will learn everything about digital organic marketing, onboarding call, to make sure that you're clear on everything, to figure out the 5 steps I've discussed, okay, to have like a personal roadmap about your business, access to private community, group coaching, direct support messaging, which is the group chat, and then the monthly, one-on-one coaching. So we have the group coaching and the one-on-one coaching once a month. And then as a bonus, you will also get the audiobooks, okay, from Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, the audiobook from Robert Kiyosaki, and then, of course, the one-on-one support ongoing, to secure growth and results with personal guidance for only $49 per month. And if you want to pay, if you want to have 2 months for free, that's available for only 2 people who are interested into that. You can pay in full for a full year, and you get 2 months for free. And then you get the physical books plus the audio books, so you get all the previous bonuses. You get a software tool, which costs more than what you will pay for my program, or for for the access to me, which is a bonus that I have laying around, which I would glad to give to someone that wants to learn and grow their business behind the scenes of my different income streams. And of course, I will pay 1 year the tools that I use in my business for you. So thank you for being here. Thank you for watching this. I really hope that 5 steps I've explained were, clear enough. Make sure that you are 100% clear on of all these 5 steps, because they are very important in order to grow your business. And don't forget the 3 keynotes, which is support and accountability, updated information, which is very hard to find these days, because everyone makes it a secret, and then when you get inside, usually it's outdated information. And of course, the tools and everything. Okay, you have to make sure, you have to start automating your processes, automate your business, because if you never will automate your business, you will keep spending all of your time into it, and you will never have the time freedom that you hoped for. So thank you for being here. Thank you for watching this. And make sure to buy this if you want to grow your online business. I will gladly help you out with this. And enjoy the rest of your day. And I'll see you the next time. See you. Bye bye.